Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review of an 80s horror film. Even my microphone's wanting to run away from this movie. Don't freaking blame it, because this is a terrible slasher film. It's called Terror on Tour, and the story, if you want to call it that, you have this band in real life. I guess they're called The Names. At least they're credited as The Names. There's the original music from The Names. I don't know what kind of a name that is for a band, The Names, but in the movie, they're called The Clowns. It's 4 people, and they're pretty much a ripoff of Kiss. With the makeup, the paint, black and white paint. I'm surprised they didn't get sued by Kiss. Or any number of things. I don't know how they didn't get a lawsuit, to be honest, but they're called The Clowns. And this is one of those movies that's 90 minutes long and it feels like 3 hours long because it's very sluggishly paced. It's very boring. There's really nothing of good note to it. It looks cheap. Apparently, based on an interview that didpit.com did with the director, the movie was filmed in like a week or two. You could tell, because they pretty much use like the same sets, and a few like outside shots and like a house or two. Very limited scope. Like I said, the kills are lame. The story is this guy who dresses up as one of the 4 is killing people, mainly women. Mainly groupies, women who want to have sex with, thinking they are one of the 4 band members, or just want to have sex with someone who looks like one of the 4. And what the hell do I talk about this film? Do I talk about the bad acting or the awful dialogue? I mean, you have actors, like right in the first 5 minutes or so, one actor's like yelling half of his lines, like he's talking normally, then he's like, they sound like a bunch of vultures in a barbecue. Vultures in a barbecue? What the hell are you talking about? Sound like a bunch of vultures in a barbecue. How about you take a fucking cue and get some acting lessons? Maybe it's not the actor's fault. Maybe it's the director. Maybe it's the script. Maybe it's all of the above. And it's hard to say there's a lead character because you have the 4 band members who get blamed for these deaths, but they have nothing to do with it. And these are 4 incredibly boring characters. When they're on the stage, they sing these crappy songs. And then when they're off stage, they're bland, they're boring, they have no attitude. I'm like, these are rockers? They might as well be making fucking lawn chairs for all I know. There's no... I mean, Spinal Tap is a better band and more offbeat, crazier band than this. Off screen and on. Like, off stage and on, I should say. And then you have some guy groupies. What I mean by that is they like to dress up as the band because that's their way of getting chicks. And then in between the kills, it's just either scenes of the band playing and people having a party, trying to have sex. The band in their home life, which is really nothing to talk about. Just discussing how they're being blamed for this and, oh, who cares about being rich and famous if I'm not happy? And one of them isn't singing the songs that he wants to sing. Boo fucking who. You have a manager of the band who tells a guy, we got loose women, booze, drugs, you know the scene. It's one of those bands that tries to do shock stuff on stage. Like they rip a woman's arm off when that's not really what happens. They cut someone's head off, but it's a mannequin. And they sing stupid lyrics like, what the hell was it? Well, We'll kill every one of you. We'll cut you into pieces and send you home in a box. I don't even think he sings that. I think he literally just, one of the band members in the wannabe Kiss makeup says, we're going to kill every one of you. We're going to cut you into pieces, send you home in a box. No wonder the cops think you're psycho, band. You idiot. Great, we got 4 morons for a band. And then, like, the kills are nothing. I think, like, 8 people in total die. And even the killer doesn't die at the end of the movie, which I get to that stupid ending. I mean, and the kills is just someone dressed up like the band member, stabs women with a knife, stabs them in the stomach, or slices a throat, and you get more bad dialogue. Oh, they eat, talking about the audience loving their performances. Oh, they eat it up like flies on the first piece of shit they see in years. I'm like, yeah, I see a piece of shit. It's called Terror on Tour. Take a tour through hell. It'd be more fun than this. Take a tour of a fucking Wheaties box. It'd be more suspenseful than this. At least the Wheaties box, I can see which one is on a particular shape. Maybe one will taste different than the other. And even the killer has stupid lines. Like, you have this lady who had sex with one band member, and she thinks this is another band member, and she pulls off the blanket with her naked, has her naked body next. And then the killer goes, no, you're next, and slices the woman's throat. Or another woman goes, anything I could do for you? Yes. Die. And stabs that girl in the stomach. Like, in one party, he stabs like 3 people, and no one notices. And then you have this subplot that literally goes nowhere. You have this cop that's looking into it, and he gets this girl who's a convict. Be like, okay, you don't go undercover as a groupie and try to find some info, find what's going on, otherwise I'm going to put you back in jail. That literally goes nowhere, because all that happens is you have this one girl seducing the killer, goes on for way, way too long, for like a full minute. She gets stabbed. Then the girl who's undercover sees it, runs away. The cop goes down the stairs. He gets stabbed. The undercover girl sees the cop. No, you can't be dead. Yeah, he's dead. And then she gets the gun, turns, gets stabbed. Why? So why the hell there was an undercover girl that all it led to her being stabbed? They even show her getting a gun as she turned. Was that trying to throw us off the beaten path? Like, oh, it's going to go this one direction where the undercover girl is going to now chase the killer and has a gun. Oh, you mean in a better, more interesting way? Like a good movie would do? Nope, can't do that. So it's just maybe what the fuck was the point of this undercover girl bullshit? And the cop, nothing. You could literally take that out of the movie and nothing would change. Other than 2 boring kills of the cop and the undercover girl. They both just get stabbed. That's it. And both like in the same spot in the stomach. So it's not even like interesting kills. And then the guy that we saw at the beginning who was painting himself in the makeup because he likes being in the makeup and maybe will get girls. He sees the killer, and I believe the killer is the manager of the band. I say I think because these characters are so interchangeable, especially when the makeup, and they all kind of look the same when in the makeup. But I know it's not one of the band members. I know it wasn't this guy who was an asshole at the beginning and he got fired by the manager, so it's not him. So all I could think, it was the manager. Why did he do it? Some BS dialogue about they defile themselves, these women, they are whores. And I'm like, at the beginning of the film, they're talking about loose women, booze, drugs, you know the scene. The band's been good. You give the band women and drugs, And then you're killing women because they're whores. What? You can't even call it a twist. More like a dud. More like a limp-wristed bullshit. And then the ending is so stupid because the killer chases the guy on stage. The 4 members of the band and the crowd see this and just stand there with a thumb up their ass and a grin on their face while the killer stabs the guy and then yells out to the crowd. It freeze frames and then the movie ends. So really the band, the 4 members of the band did fucking nothing. They sang their crappy songs, they led their boring life, and you didn't even have the band members face off against the killer, fight the killer, find out who the killer is, stop the killer. Like, this guy's ready to kill this innocent person on stage. You don't do anything. You could smash him in the face with your guitar, get the cord and put him around the motherfucker's neck, and then you just stand there, watch the guy kill him on stage, and just be whatever the hell the manager killer said. The killer manager, how the hell you want to call it, because I don't remember the guy's name. It's like, I don't know what the hell that's it. That's the movie. So, a stupid band who sings crappy songs, has Kiss makeup that they surprisingly get sued for, boring ass lives that go nowhere, not even like these guys have really girlfriends or wives or kids or anything in their personal lives. It's just them bumblefucking around. Once in a while a person gets killed. Like I said, you have probably 8 people get killed. You don't even get the satisfaction of the killer getting his comeuppance. And that's it looks cheap. Granted, you just say that's a VHS copy, but it looks like it was shot on, count on one hand, amount of places. The acting is bad. The line delivery, like there's some people just want to randomly shout their lines. At least that one guy did. And a boring, useless, pointless slasher film. And there are horror films that deal with the rock element. Trick or Treat, which someday down the road I want to give a watch and review, because I saw like a long time ago, but I remember it being a decent film. But this is a totally rubbish, pointless, poorly acted, uninteresting, boring kills, not much gore, no likable characters, and an incredibly bland, boring, and stupid band with crappy music. So Terror on Tour can go... See, even my computer says shut the fuck up about this movie, because even my computer doesn't want me to talk about this movie anymore, and I don't blame it, because there's nothing else to talk about. The movie fucking sucks. Definitely one of the worst 80s slasher films I've seen. This is a total piece of shit with not one redeeming value. Even films like To All Good Night had some kind of goofy, bad charm at times, and some at least decent, fun kills, and the fact that each kill was kind of different. Oh, an axe to the head, a garrote on the net, where it's hanging and it's a wire, or someone gets hit in the head with a rock, or a silly airplane propeller death. At least that made me smirk. Here it just made me bored. So fuck this movie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for another 80s horror film review later.